seconds. The defenders have 7 seconds to wait anyway. Here's the first play. There's more of a reveal. They're not quite able to get themselves anywhere secret. They could try and tuck in close on towards the half wall, but instead they've just got to drive because of the bulletproof. They're pushing themselves further and further. They just took the territory, refused to play the game in the bulletproof, and Alamau, can he get the stop? He's swinging his way around. He can't quite find the player. He's a second too late, Adrian.
Oh my god.
You can see they're trying to pinch them out, and Mowgli's about to find a fight immediately. The Candela rolls out from the hatch. The pre-throw in C4 doesn't quite get the landing, but Stompin has the glasses and the gun to back it up. Looks for the second. He's just pre-firing the angle, but think of the time, think of the players, and think of the third, because he's going to try and find a fourth instead. Keep sending it, Stompin! Absolutely pockets all of them. The king of the game seems to be the statement here from Doki, but if he can make an ace, he might be Lord Emperor sooner rather than later. He's got a second to spare, but instead, they're just going to try and drive onto the site. You assume the pressure's going to come whether he goes up or down. Hello, Clash. Hello, Stompin!
Open up the wall. They can now try and work this plan. Adrian has the diffuser in his hand. Oh, the top is going to stall him out ever so slightly. Lura going aggressive. Look at this rotate from Blams, though. Will they have any idea he's playing close to the bridge? No, they don't. Blams picks up one. No, looks away at the wrong moment. Noah able to get the trade.
They're driving themselves in towards the site, get rid of the BP and get themselves planted unknown, but underneath, that's where the danger players are. The impact is impactless as they can't quite get the angle. Instead, swung up red, but only to meet their end, and now it's double down. Secret picks up one, the 3 versus 2, and now that clash just becomes infinitely more powerful, but instead Adrian is going to try and send one way, Savage gets the other, and now another 2 versus 2, but with 10 seconds before it becomes the 1 versus 2, they're going to head down and hope for the best. They've hit the pipe, buy themselves some time on the door so they can't quite cross that path and get the down. Savage has the perfect cover, and now Stompin puts us into another clutch or die situation, and he almost gets Savage on the way out the window, but the shield, so powerful, so movable, and look how far away that they're going. Savage, he's gone really distant on it.
Oh,
he can
no.
just sort of get caught.
No.
He can't make it in time. He's not going to be able to get the catch on it. You can see he's panicking, but at this point, Stompin is cool as ice.
Oh, Savage tried to play it safe.
I'm not sure if they were hoping for a bait, but it's actually able to slip their way through behind the case and go for the plant itself. Watch. They've got the cross. They've made sure that nobody can get across this divide, but they almost let it slip. They do get the plant. They do get the planter, and now they've just got Stompin. Once again, how many times will we be in this situation? But can we make it 3 for 3 on his impressive tally so far? Holding. And he's about to be held by what he worked so brilliantly before. There's that clash. She's making a quick route up towards the top. Noah is waiting as well. The clash is putting all this pressure on. Stompin, though. He gets Noah and he just gets out of there. And now what do you do? At this point, do you drop down? Hope you can get the defuse in time. They're going to be able to play the verticality. They're hoping he doesn't have the angle. But Stompin just seems so on top of it all, Demo.
Stompin on point.
On the far side of the map with Stompin with the kit rotating under, sort of over the top, back and forth. Especially Mowgli that gets Alamau the 4 versus 2 1.
Wow.
Okay, it's done. Statement here.
Yeah, I think it's not really sure where they want to go. Oh! Savage just about a foot. He maybe missed his opportunity, but just about gets there, and there's Loira ready with the pickup. Out on his own, in towards that top floor, gets that trade. Savage has been dealt with, but still there is that presence from Secret. Never mind, they went direct. Alamau is in, he's using that Blackbeard.
Well, that's it. As soon as they got the read, there was a bit of space. They're going to see if they can try and double down on it. They've got the 2 players inside the site, and site is now theirs, but Doom hits the floor, leaves just Noah alone in a 1 versus 4. Caught from the top of the hatch, almost catches the side of Loira, but they had the cross and the watch, and that moves G2 on towards map point. He's a very narrow position. He's going back and forth, but again, think of the site.
The drone work is impeccable right now for G2. They know exactly where these Secret players are. A great collapse as well from Blaz, and he's ready for a second, because again, the information is there. Look how clinical it is from G2.
Well, a 4 versus 1. Noah, with not much more health, is going to have to try and pull this one together. The plant is being secured, gets the first, doesn't want to get swung on by the second, and unfortunately can't prevent it. Around, they still have the protection of being swung on. Savage is there in a position to just keep putting this threat, and Oh, as soon as they put their head round, that's going to happen. Sort of just fed into the double side. Adrian's going to get the pickup. Mowgli has the cross onto one. Loira gets two, but Mowgli being leveled levels things up. Loira will have to ace this one out and can't even get back to reload his guns.
Towards them. They're all quiet at the moment. Selma trying to make that entrance, but no! Surely it's got to be the Mistron, because there's no way you'd swing into that if you thought that was clear. Wow, I mean, again for Mowgli, just everything's going his way today.
As I said, it feels like the intel game was there, and well, apart from that bit, but all right, Stumpin, we all make mistakes at this point. Yeah, whether it was a Mistron, I mean, you could see the positioning of Doom, right? Doom stepped up, drew attention with the C4, peeled back via the coffin side, and suddenly they were just beelined onto one. Bye-bye. Knocked out, swings around with the pistol and hopes for the best, but, well, one shield hasn't quite worked. Maybe two later on. Mowgli finds himself one more for the round, and Doki just keep tacking him to his tally. Mowgli, one of the strong and can really lead in. They know the pings. Look how aggressive Secret are still being as well. They're sort of happy to make the statement. Here's some support coming through. They didn't quite get the bite of Noah, but they're still going to try and move in. A bit of damage done towards the shoulder of Doki, but the C4 of Adrian from below finishes off the tip of the spear, and why not snap the rest of the stick as well here, Demo. 5 versus 3. Loira, well, no Loira, just stomping and Plaz.
This is a big old uphill battle that they have to go against. No real info either. I mean, they're pretty separated too. No real opportunities for a trade game. They just have to try and land their shots, and nobody from G2 has really been doing that in this map.
Well, Noah gets the catch on towards Stompin, and Blaz left alone. He was handed a clutch earlier, and surely not again, but there's at least the first, and I've got to cast it like it's always possible, because to be fair, as we've seen, it always is. But with a single C4 and with none of them opting towards the fight, it seems like it's more just time to talk, and Secret, time for 5 rounds unanswered. Going towards the swing from the reception desk. This is going to be that pressure, and how aware are they? Quite aware as the first falls, but Alamau battles back, and there's Loira popping in and can't quite get to Mowgli. Still putting the pressure on, almost catches another, but 10 seconds, it's 2 versus 2 and no kit. They're going to see if they can try and take this to the firing line. Noah sitting, watching, waiting, commiserating a loss as a pistol tries to drive its way across. There's going to be a swing round either side. Can't quite get it in time. Does find one for his trouble, but one still remains.
Savage, I think, in a great position here in towards Spiral, but he has to wait for his teammates to support him before he makes that maneuver in towards the front desk. Doki, though, will go aggressive onto Savage and takes the kill.
It's the first time G2 have been able to get that opening kill throughout the entirety of this map, and well, it comes against a perfect time. There goes Savage, there goes Doom, and Mowgli might be about to pop off. Blaz finally finds a way to end around without him getting a kill, but Noah is at least there to get some revenge. However, the reception desk is not very welcoming, and well, he might want to turn around and leave. There is obviously a bit of a down done on towards Loira. 3 versus 2. 20 seconds, and the fire starts to pop alongside the smoke itself. They're swinging their way around on the rotate on towards the hatches itself, and you can see G2, they're trying to work out exactly where the kit is going planted. It's over the top towards main stairs. They're going to try and go full sprint, full send, and full to the back, but they were ready for it. Loira! All 3 is a delicious feast for the demon. To have yet 5 versus 3 though. We had time before, and as we enter this final minute, will we have it time and time again as it cyclically repeats itself? It's Doki that starts to make things feel a bit worrying, but they make sure they keep the pressure up as Doki doubles down. Somehow finds a second. Doom though, with the Deimos, has a bit of a response. He's doing his best, popping up and trying to put the players down on the singular approach. As Alamau gets himself a third though, it's suddenly a 2 versus 2. And that sort of tragedy starts to pop in. Both take scraps of damage, both trying to reposition on the side of meeting, and both seemingly being pinged out by that intel game, but the intel reads that Doki's down, and just in the 2 versus 1, 20 seconds, Alamau, his time to step up, but Secret put him down.
Secret, it's just that step by step. Just go through the motions, just work G2 for all they're worth.
Oh, a lot of damage done, and Alamau, all that's left, they've just pieced them apart, and brick by brick, you might say you build a build, but the building's been blown. It's been pushed over. It's 3 pigs, and
don't think that's something that Secret would have went for, because again, that slow and steady approach has really benefited them. Adrian looking to see if he can just find a few picks outside that copy window, but right now for G2, just sit in your hands, you have that man advantage. Mowgli has made a big old play in for the open area, the forward can't get hit him, but it doesn't matter.
This kit position, they're all around it, they're everywhere, Demo.
They have to try and get a move on and find these players. The Doki call goes in. Doki looking for the creep up in towards Janitor. Savage finds another. Doki now makes himself known. The DMR now. Savage with a drop shot. Free for him in the round and stomping all by himself. 15 seconds. Walks into the LMI and walks into his demise. Savage. Good for 4.
By friends in a nice place, and it's actually the drive from the Deimos underneath that locks it in, but there's the first. Adrian gets on towards 1, and there's the fight, but Mowgli won it out! Instead he was making his motion, but instead they've just entirely been rebuffed. A 5-2. Stompin does find Mowgli, gets revenge, but I'm sure he'll be very happy with what he's done this round already, off the top rope, the top stairs, and through Doki. Now on towards the quad wall. Again, they just tried to slip the kid in, but as soon as you hit that mine behind them, top blue, they're in a position to swing on. Stompin gets 1, but Savage doubles down. Secret, no, they can push a 2 versus 1, but instead hits on towards the other side. Blaz with the Vault Hatch drop right into a Fenrir. A minute, Demo. A minute might separate G2's run. It's a close fight, but it's Stompin's connection to make. The 2 versus 2, Biddly built across the bank basement. But there's another one for Noah. And here's Secret sit in the 2 versus 1. Blaz, with a massive clutch earlier, wants to try and add another towards that list. Another to his day and another bit of hope for G2. But on the side, fighting like heroes is not enough. This is not